Alright, so we need to talk about Christopher Nolan's next movie because even after the release of Oppenheimer and the success that it got, and now that we are moving forward into getting his next big movie, and that's coming out summer of 2026, not only do we get little tidbits of what we can expect more, that more has come out, and the ideas that has planned for his next movie, but with another cast member that has been added to it, it's also a major movie star that we also have to talk about as well. So I'm going to be breaking down all the details and talk about what we need to know about Christopher Nolan's next movie, and if it's going to be any good, Oscar nomination worthy, especially with this new cast member that has been added, and there's so much more to break down. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future bits. But now, let's talk about it. And so, ever since it was announced that Christopher Nolan's next movie is coming out July 17th, 2026, it'll be distributed by Universal. It'll have Matt Damon starring as the main lead. Of course, he did star alongside Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, which took home Best Picture, and won Christopher Nolan the Best Director at the Oscars, and it'll be filmed with IMAX cameras and also be distributed in that format as well, and it'll go into production in early 2025. And now, especially with little tidbits that were revealed here recently, is that with the details that we know about Nolan's next movie, that it'll not be set in the present day. In fact, it was revealed that it'll be a period piece about vampires set in the 1920s, so it's basically like a horror-esque level movie, which I am down for. I'm excited to see what Nolan has to dive into here, especially with the themes, especially with like dark drama, which we typically seen in Nolan movies, especially with The Dark Knight and like other films like Interstellar and so much more. But now, with the biggest piece of news that has been revealed is that with Tom Holland, that's right, Spider-Man himself, as well known to be, has been casted in Nolan's next movie. And now, this is amazing because with Matt Damon and Tom Holland now going to be starring in a movie together about like a period piece of vampires in the 20s, like this is gonna be like very exciting because even know that we don't know what Tom Holland's role is going to be in the next Nolan film, but for the fact that it's going to be a period piece about vampires, that's going to be dated way back in the past, and even with Matt Damon attached to be the star of that film, I bet he's going to be hunting down vampires or learning the history of it. And with Tom Holland actually becoming a vampire, I mean, sign me up, because we've seen that side of himself as an actor, because he's been in plenty of drama films where he's given drama of himself in like the past couple years. So that'll be real interesting, because I mean, no one has explored different themes throughout his movies, but even with this being like a horror level movie that's gonna be set back in the 20s, it's gonna be a pretty insane. I mean, sign me up. I could already smell an Oscar nomination coming for Nolan. I mean, summer 2026 is going to be the year for Nolan. That you can count on. Even with details that have been kept under wraps and no official plot details that have been revealed yet. I mean, this is just what has come about, but it's gonna be pretty exciting though. But even with the real kicker here is that with Tom Holland, that's going to be attached to Nolan's next movie that's going to be filming in early 2025. And even if you look what other movies he's going to be filming that year, and that's of course Spider-Man 4 and Avengers Doomsday. And even with that film, he's going to have a big role as Spider-Man. So I don't know how he's going to juggle around his filming schedule around 3 of those movies, because even with those movies coming out the following year, 2026, I mean, Tom Holland is staying booked and busy as he should be. But even though with Tom Holland attached to Christopher Nolan's next movie, and also this is a major movie star that we know as Spider-Man, and this is pretty exciting to me. And one thing that I do find interesting is that even if you look at Nolan's filmography, and you can see the types of genres that he's experimented with his movies, and those are now iconic as we know them to be. But those are specific types that are being sci-fi, the superhero comic book genre. You could think the Dark Knight for that, and also with biopics and so much more. But now being horror and now being adapted into his filmography for the first time, it's gonna be so interesting how he's gonna do that with Tom Holland and Matt Damon. Gonna be about vampires being a period piece. I'm excited to see for how he pulls this off. And even with Tom Holland himself, who was getting back in the game, and after he took a year off from acting, of course he was in that Apple TV show called The Crowded Room, but now being fully back into acting, and even with so many projects that he has lined out that are coming out, and and not only with Marvel, but with Christopher Nolan. And this is the man that we all know and love, has made many iconic films, and some of them are masterpieces, including for the Dark Knight trilogy, Interstellar, Inception, and so much more. And now with Tom Holland and now being attached to Nolan's next movie, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be wild, and you with not only that, but it's going to get many people in seats. It's going to generate numbers at the box office, and you with those two movies that are MCU movies, and the two of them involve him being Spider-Man, and so I wonder of how he's gonna juggle around his acting schedule, but we'll see how he does with that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be all under control with that. And also a few key points that I want to make with Christopher Nolan's next movie is that it's going to be described as like a vampire movie, like a period piece set in the 1920s, and even people that are saying that, oh, there's already a film about that coming out, and that is with Ryan Coogler's next movie with Michael B. Jordan called Sinners, but that is a completely different studio. That was with the Warner Brothers, but now with, Nolan is no longer with that studio. I thank God for that, but now I thank God that he's staying over at Universal to be working on a vampire movie that's going to be a period piece, and even with Nolan's adapted vision for what he's going to be creating with this movie, I'm pretty sure we're all going to be there day one, especially for Matt Damon and Tom Holland. So I cannot wait for what this movie has to deliver, and hopefully we'll get more details soon. And one last thing that I would like to say here is that I am excited for Christopher Nolan's next movie, and it's going to be about a period piece movie about vampires with Tom Holland and Matt Damon coming out summer 2026, and that I am stoked. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm there day one. I'm getting a ticket for it, and I'm going to be there opening night. I'm pretty sure everyone is also excited about it, and even with Nolan's vision for what he has adapted for it, with all these details still, I'm excited for it as well. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what are your thoughts on Tom Holland being attached to Christopher Nolan's next movie, and are you just excited for what Christopher Nolan has to deliver, even with his iconic filmography? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and turn notifications about future videos. Also follow all my social medias over to the link down below. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.